All right, I'd like to bring the meeting to order. This is the Historic District Commission. The date is December 10th, 2020. The time is 4:15. This meeting was noticed in the Fairfield Citizen on November 27th, 2020. If we could go through the attendance. Start with Jim.
James B. Bohan, alternate commissioner.
Mark Ravanis, Commissioner.
Chris Shea, Commissioner.
Tina Negron, Commissioner.
Darren Raymond Locke, Commissioner.
Jim, was that you, Darren?
Yeah.
Okay. And Adam Cliver, Commissioner. Absent today is George Clark, and I think that's it. For alternate designation is just Jim Bohan.
Okay, thank you.
And Jim, you're going to be voting on just one application today, because I'm going to be recusing myself on the second application. So you'll be voting on that one, okay?
Okay, got it.
So the first item on the agenda is Old South Road, LLC, 171 Old South Road in Southport, for property located at 171 Old South Road in Southport. For A, remove existing garage and pergola. B, new pergola. C, new patio. D, lighting. E, modify previously approved fence, walks and driveway. And F, outdoor shower.
Good afternoon, Adam. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thanks, Jack.
Okay. I think I want to share my screen here. And I'm going to show you some pictures. We're proposing a new garage at 171 Old South Road. The existing garage is undersized and it's awkwardly positioned. As you can see in this photograph, there's this amazing oak tree. It's got to be several hundred years old. That's right on the corner of the existing garage. The garage is quite small. It's barely 20 feet wide, and it's got this really unattractive vinyl plastic door, and nobody seems to know how it ever got approved. So it's very difficult to park two vehicles in there, and it is stressing the tree. We had a arborist come out from Northeast Horticulture at the beginning of the project, and she looked at the tree, and as you can see, there's two problems. One is the roots on this side next to the garage. The other is the vines that have been allowed to grow on the, and you can see all the way up. Those vines shouldn't be there. But the good news is that the tree has vitality. She feels that it can be, it probably can last a lot longer if it's addressed now. And one thing that would be good is moving the garage farther away from the tree and obviously removing the vines. And then all those suckers that you see on the branches will be cut back. And there's some kind of an enzyme that they can put into the tree to get it to push out normal growth. So, and this was very good news to the neighbor, Bob Svensk, who lives immediately to the east, because as you may or may not know, he's the head of the Southport Tree Initiative. And this is the tree that he sees out of the back of his house. And so we sort of met with Bob and the new owner of the house, Fred Ryan, and we decided, to try to locate this garage farther from the tree. So now I'm going to go full screen here. So what we're proposing to do is to put the garage back in the corner of the lot. And on last month, we went to ZBA and we requested to build the garage basically about 1.5 feet off of the property line in the southeast corner. And with support from the neighbors who thought that was fine and also thought that the garage we were proposing was more attractive than what's there, they approved it unanimously. So we're back here today looking for you to approve it also. The garage itself is about 24 by 22. There's also about 6 feet of space on this side of the garage that's being used for sort of an indoor-outdoor snack bar to serve the pool. And there's a pergola proposed here. If you're familiar with the site, the existing garage, which you can just barely see right here in the gray outline, it has a pergola also, which you might have seen in that picture of the tree. So we're proposing to get rid of the existing pergola, the existing garage, and actually there's another pergola that never showed up on the survey that's back here. We're proposing to get rid of that as well, which is why it says pergolas in plural on the application. The proposed garage is going to have folding accordion French doors facing west towards the pool, and a new pergola above it, which will shelter that patio. And then there's a window here and a window here. On the garage door side, we're proposing new garage doors that will look like swinging doors, but it will in fact be overhead doors. There's a shed dormer with 3 small windows and a double hung window here that goes into that, that will be, looking into that space where the stairway is. Up above, there's a loft that can be used for a studio or office with a bath. And the idea here is that in the summer, this could be opened up and it can serve the pool. In the winter, Fred can use it as a studio, and he'll have access to, some, source of food and coffee and what have you. Behind the garage, we're having an outdoor shower, which is fenced in with a cedar fence and a little lattice topper. And on the east side, we're not proposing any fenestration there for a couple of reasons. Number one is the neighborhood's asked us not to put any windows there because his pool is on that side of the property. Also, it's so close to the property line that you really are not allowed to have a window on that elevation. This elevation, which faces the property to the south, the dormers set back far enough to allow for fenestration, but there's no fenestration here. And there's fencing all around that. There's fencing and vegetation all around the backside of the garage. Going back to the site plan, the previous application that you approved, the driveway was slightly different and the fencing was slightly different because it was being connected to the old garage. So this proposal has adjustment to the driveway and the fencing to work with the new garage. All the materials are going to be the same as what we had proposed before. The siding on the garage is cedar shingles, the roof cedar shingles, the wood trim is painted, copper flashing, copper gutters, copper leaders, wood windows and doors, SDL type construction, bluestone patios and walks. And I have some pictures here of, this is not the door that we're proposing, but it's the type of door that folds, accordion style. This is the type of door on the garage we're proposing, not these exact doors, but what's in the drawing. This is actually the lantern that, these lanterns are currently on the front porch of the house. There are 2 of them. we're proposing to reuse those on the west elevation of that cabana portion of the garage, and to get a new one to match it in between the two garage doors. This just shows the type of window, the SDL window, and the section details for that, and the mutton details for that, which is a 7/8 inch mutton. And I believe that's everything. So I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Okay, thanks, Jack. Chris, you want to start?
Sure. Thanks for your presentation, Jack. I was just a little curious on the, I guess it's the south end of the garage on the property line where you've got the proposed outdoor shower. So it looks like there's, I guess, a new proposed fence, and then there must be an existing fence, which is probably the adjoining property owner's fence. So I'm just curious about like how that's going to be maintained, and it seems like that might be a little bit of a challenge with the fences being 6 inches or a foot apart from each other. And then also it looks like, I guess, the new fence ties into the outdoor shower, and that shower, I guess, becomes part of the pool enclosure because the fence no longer continues past that point. And it looks like the shower fence is basically kind of on the property line. Was that approved from zoning as well?
Yes, because because the shower is not more than 6 feet high, so they construed it to be like a fence. So, a fence, as long as it's 6 feet or less, can be, right on the property line or anywhere. If you go over that, then you're beholden to the accessory structure setback.
Okay. And then so just to follow up on my question on the fencing, so I guess is that fence, a new fence it looks like it's going to be painted or stained. Is that right?
Yeah, that was the idea.
I just wonder how that's maintained practically, because it's right. There's another fence right behind it.
I mean, we just felt that we were responsible for maintaining our own fence because the one could come down on the property line. I think, probably in a perfect world, you would have just one fence there. And, I don't know that we'll need to maintain it very much. We'll probably put like a preservative on it, and if it has to be sections have to be taken off and then re-put up, I suppose that would be awkward to do, but doable nonetheless.
Okay. All right. Those were my only two comments. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Rosina?
I have no questions.
Art?
None from me, thank you.
Okay. Darren?
No questions for me either.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
No questions from me.
Okay, thanks. Jet?
Just a quick question, Jack. How much further away from Old South Road will the new garage be?
It's about 10 feet farther back.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
And I don't have any questions, Jack. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
I didn't receive any emails or letters in favor of this application, and I did not receive any letters or emails against this application. So hearing's closed. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is Bonnie Page for 72 Rose Hill, which I'm recusing myself. And Chris, I'd like you to
Sure.
share
Okay,
this hearing, and I didn't receive any letters for or against this application for your information.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you, Adam. Yeah, so the next application is Bonnie Page for property located at 72 Rose Hill Road in Southport. Just one item, item A, change windows and doors to be more appropriate to the historical style of the home. Do we have somebody here to present this application?
Yes, I'm on the phone. I'm sorry. This is Bonnie Page. I would put you on video, but I don't know how. So, but yes, I'm presenting it. And I'm a contractual owner, and I'm purchasing the house at 72 Rose Hill Road. And I would like to change out the windows to be a little bit more appropriate with the Queen Anne style, Italianate style, where there are examples across the street and also 2 examples on Old South, which I have shown. I think you could see them in the application.
Yeah.
So they are the same windows. Oh, go ahead.
Hang on just a second, Bonnie. I'm just going to ask, is it possible, Adam, would you be able to share this application on the screen?
Yeah, sure.
So the other commissioners can see it? I have it in front of me, but since it's not on the screen, I wanted everyone to have an opportunity to look at it, Bonnie, while you're presenting it.
Okay, thank you.
Just hang on a second. Okay, here we go. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Adam.
Okay, go ahead, Bonnie.
All right, so the current home has had it was originally built in the 1800s with the Queen Anne style, Italianate style. And then it was added to in the late 80s, where if you can look at the front and they put on a portico, which is a little bit more French style, in the bay window. And what I'm trying to do is bring it back to really what it should be or what it was originally, for the character of the style, the frame of the house and the overhangs. So what I'd like to do is change out the windows and the doors to reflect that. Beam wood on the interior and exterior. And if you can see, there's a before and after on each page. So if you start at the very first, after the survey, the first page, you have the existing facade, front elevation.
Yeah.
And then you can see the 2/2 windows with the oval window on the top. I'm eventually, I don't know if you need to know this, but I am going for a variance for a porch as well. I really just wanted to get the windows and doors up and going, so when I start construction, I can really start construction and have it weathered proof in February. So that was the idea of going forward with this first application for appropriateness on the windows and doors, so I could change those out while I'm going for a variance to put on a proper front porch. And if I don't get the variance for that proper front porch, right, you don't need to know that now.
Yeah, we just want to consider your application. So there, now you've got the north elevation up on the screen.
Okay, so that elevation, that's the patio. I'm just changing out. There's a door from the living room and a door from the kitchen to the right. The living room's on the wall facing you. I just wanted to change that to a sliding wood 2-panel door that would go a little bit more appropriately with the windows that I'm proposing.
Okay. And then the third elevation.
So you have the north elevation, and then also you see the windows on the side of the house on the north elevation. Right, currently they're 6/6 with newer storm windows. So I'm proposing 2/2 with all wood interior and exterior windows.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you go to the fourth page, it's the same. That's the view with the trees. You really don't really get a great view of it, but it's the same windows that you saw above, changing out. And then if you go to 5, there's a bay window in the rear of the house, in the west elevation, in the kitchen. I would like to replace that with 3 individual windows. I'm just trying to bring the house back to where it should be originally. These were add-ons in the 80s, as I said. And then if we go to the west elevation on 6, there's a porch there you really can't see right now, but there's a door that I'd like to change out there. And the windows, the same situation as discussed on the other sides. And the door that is on that porch is the identical door that would be seen on the side patio in the first example. Do I continue?
Oh, shoot. Mhm.
So that would have been the doors on schematic 2 are the doors that I would put in on the porch that you can't see on schematic 6.
You've got a cut sheet of that door, the Nantucket door, the 2-panel door. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's actually the front door.
Okay.
That's for the front. That's for the front door. This is on a wood sliding French door schematic you should have on the application. I think it's 9068. Marvin's signature. They're wood sliding French doors.
Right.
I was looking at different design styles, and then we came up with the 2-panel, probably being the best fit, so it wouldn't be too much going on.
Okay.
And then, so after the kitchen bay, then we go to, I think we're at 7. Again, it's just replacing the windows of 6/6 with the aluminum storm windows to the 2/2 wood windows, which you can see in the examples below on the 2 houses on Old South.
Right. Okay, do you have anything else to add to your presentation?
Not unless you think I'm missing something or you have any questions.
Okay, so we'll go to questions now. Jim, do you have any questions?
First of all, welcome to Southport, and thank you for doing what you're doing here. It's going to be lovely.
Thank you.
Just want to confirm you're not, so no storm windows.
I'm sorry?
You're not proposing any storm windows in addition to the Marvin?
No, these would be fully insulated windows.
Okay.
They're architecturally accurate.
Right. Thank you very much. No other questions.
Thank you.
Art?
None, Chris. Thank you.
Rosina?
My only question is, I know that until like 1900s, the glass was usually hand blown, and the large pieces of glass were very expensive. So usually this resulted in a lot of light in the windows, which meant individual panes. I know it's more of the Queen Anne style, but were there any images historically that showed the type of windows that the house originally had?
Yes, if you can see, just after the schematics of the elevations, just after number 7, there are 2 historically significant homes on Old South Road that I took pictures of. That you should be able to see if you can. They're toward the end, before the Marvin cut sheets.
Yeah. You see those, Rosina?
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to replicate.
Great, thank you. I have no questions.
Thank you.
Okay, I can't, let's see. Sorry, but I can't. Oh, Darren, do you have any questions?
No, I have nothing. No questions.
Okay. Have I missed any of the commissioners? Okay. All right. Then I will turn it back to Adam because I believe he's already commented that there was no, he has not received any indication from anyone that's either for or against this application. So the hearing is now closed.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your holidays.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Chris. Next item on the agenda is Chris and Haley Milligan, 75 Old South Road in Southport, for property located at 75 Old South Road in Southport, 4A. 30 kilowatt generator moved to front parking court and screened with 6-foot high evergreen hedge and B landscape lighting.
Hey everyone, my name is Jonathan Hopkins with Catherine Herman Design. We prepared a landscape plan for you. This is our 3rd presentation to the HDC, and resulting from the September approval for a 3rd bay for the garage, we had to shift our generator location to the front yard. And in an effort to screen that from the street, we are proposing a 6-foot evergreen hedge around it. And then we originally presented in June prior to a landscape lighting plan, which we have for you. So I'm going to share my screen here. And oops. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So generator location in the front yard here. Originally in this location. Original survey. And then here we go. So the generator shifted from the side yard and then to in front of the parking court area. As you can see, we've got the evergreen screen around and about 2.5 feet on all sides for clearance. And then you should have also our landscape lighting plan with our cut sheets. We are using beachside fixtures, which are turtle friendly, and then unfinished brass. I believe all of these are 2-watt, 2700 Kelvin, so warm, 3000 Kelvin warm light. We've got 3 path lights here, and then 2 uplights on boxwood globes here, and then a path light at the parking court entrance. And then in the back, some path lights to orient you throughout the space, and then uplights on some magnolias in the back.
Is that it?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. Start with Darren. Do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions.
Art?
None from me, thanks.
Rosina?
No questions at the moment.
Chris?
Yeah, thanks for your presentation. The uplights that you're proposing on the magnolia trees, that's something that's typically not appropriate in a historic district. Are you familiar with the historic district handbook and our guidelines?
Yes, I am. The location of the uplights are in the rear, and then we've got evergreen screening around the property. These evergreens here are between 8, 10, and 12 feet in height. And the lower canopy would, dilute the light from the uplights and kind of disperse the light here. And then it's this fixture here. Which is directional, and then we have louvers and a hex cell filter specified,
Right.
so that it's not washing over to the neighbors or anywhere rather than we want it to go.
Are these magnolia trees going to be visible at night from a public way?
Let me zoom out. They will not be visible. They are all in the back. And then this here is another 6-foot hedge. And yeah, so just this location here, here, and here, and then another here. And then as you can see, Old South is plus or minus 150 feet away.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jim, do you have any questions?
No questions, thank you.
I do have comments, I guess, on the lighting. Chris is correct. I mean, uplighting on trees, we typically do not approve. Even though it's set back from the road at night, an illuminated tree is going to be visible from the street. And it's also, I mean, in the handbook, it mentions or it says that lighting should not intrude on adjacent properties, including pool lighting, court, driveway lighting, particularly near lot lines. And I noticed, I mean, you have some other lights, like, I think these, you have 2 lights at each of these magnolias. So basically 4 of these trees are being lit?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. And then you have a well light, which is basically an uplight as well, right? It's called well light,
below
number
well
1.
Light. Yeah, below grade well.
And where are those located? On the stair?
So we have those in the landscape, and they can be articulated 30 degrees to, we have a few boxwood globes that we're hoping to illuminate. And we have them here in the front, articulated to the boxwood globes. Excuse me. Then we have them here at the edge of the hedge, and then in here at the gates, and then in the rear. And that's it.
And you have quite a few lights in the pool as well.
So those are just your standard glow bright lights. Those are for safety lighting in the pool.
Yeah, but there are 3 of them. Typically, there's like 1 light in the pool. So I guess here's the issue. We're very concerned about uplighting trees and wall washing the house or whatever. You know, I understand it's an attractive way to light up a property, and I like lighting trees myself. But in the historic district, it's something that we frown upon. It just because it creates a lot of light at night. Obviously, that the house is going to be lit up. Essentially, with all these uplights, all these trees are going to be lit, and then you have the boxwoods being lit. Typically, we like to approve, essential path lights for safety reasons, and some patio lights, perhaps some exterior lights. But in general, I think the application just has too many lights, and especially too many uplights. So anyway, those are my comments. Have anything else to add?
For myself, I would just say I know that on plan it may appear like a lot, but so thank you for your comments.
Okay. I didn't receive any letters or emails in favor of this application, and I didn't receive any emails or letters against this application. So if there's nothing else, the hearing's closed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is Caddis Main Trust, 996 Old Post Road in Fairfield, for property located at 996 Old Post Road in Fairfield for a new garage to match existing garage demolished by a tree.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh,
I am.
hi. I've been having a lot of difficulty with my computer. I saw something from the first person's, but then my computer is not allowing me to do it. So now I'm on my phone and I'm not sure how to put up the plans or anything. Is it possible for you to do that for me?
Yes, I can. Could you just identify yourself for the record?
Sure. My name's Ann Cadis and I live at 996 Old Post Road.
Thanks.
Oh, shoot.
Can you see that, Ann?
Yep. Okay, so should I start?
Yeah, please.
Okay. During that storm Isaias, a very large tree from our neighbor's yard fell on top of our garage and demolished it. So now our application is to build the same thing that was there in the same spot. There's not gonna be, we don't plan any changes. I think you can see from the drawing that all of the materials will be what were originally there. Cedar, wood. The garage doors are going to be hem fir wooden garage door. And then I had the side door to the garage. I had just had it custom made a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, I think, when we repainted it. That is a fir garage door. It's the one thing we were able to salvage from when everything collapsed. I don't have a picture of that in there, but that is on the side there. You'll see there's a side door. I have that in my basement. It's a wooden fir door. The architect put lighting on the exterior, but we don't plan to put any on there because we didn't have any before and we never really felt a need to have it. And it's our neighbors have a small light on their garage, and I don't really like to have things all bright and lit up back there anyway. So I don't think that that's really something that I want to add on there. I don't know if you have any questions.
Okay. Jim, you want to start?
No questions.
Darren?
No questions.
Darren, do you have any questions?
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess you didn't hear me. No, I have no questions. It was pretty straightforward.
Thank you. Art?
No, thanks.
Art, do you have any questions?
No, I said no, Adam. Thank you.
Sorry, for some reason I'm getting not hearing you. Rosina, questions?
No questions.
And Chris, questions?
Yes, thank you for your presentation, Anne.
Mhm.
And I did have a couple of questions that relate to the lighting. So the application indicates exterior lights both in the elevation of adjacent to one of the two garage doors and then the walk-through door. And so I guess if we were to approve the application, we would make the exception that you do not want those lights, or those lights are not part of the application?
Right. I'm not sure why she put them on there because when she asked me if I wanted exterior lighting, I said no because we don't have any. But maybe she just, I don't know. And anyway, so you can put it as though.
I was just going to say I'm not a code official or expert, but I think you do need a light outside of a door that you walk in and out of. So you may need to have that.
That's
since it's on the
interesting.
application, you may want to keep it on there.
Okay.
But those were my only comments. Thank you.
Thanks. I didn't know that.
Well, for now, we can't consider the lights because we don't have a light fixture to consider.
Yes, we do. The lights are in the application.
Where
on the drawing.
I know, but there's no actual
drawing A1.
Oh, are they?
Yep.
Is there a specific fixture?
Yep. The sconces are Hinkley Miles 2550 BK.
Okay, I missed that.
Looks like.
Well, in this case, I mean, we'll consider the lights, and if you don't want to install them, you don't have to.
Okay.
But if you need to put them in, I mean, these would if these get approved, then at least we'll have approval for lights if they're required.
Okay, thank you. Yes, thanks.
I did not receive any letters or emails in favor of this application, and I didn't receive any letters or emails against this application, so the hearing's closed. Thank you.
Thank you.
And next item on the agenda is Beverly Veneer, 126 Old Post Road, Fairfield, for property located at 126 Old Post Road in Fairfield for a detached garage and B, portico and existing front landing.
Good evening. Could you hear me?
Yes. Hi.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. I think I still had you on mute. I'm Beverly Veneer. I reside at 126 Old Post Road in Fairfield, Connecticut. I'm proposing to construct a new garage, approximately 16 feet wide by 20 feet deep, 5 feet removed from both neighbors, with a loft above. And regarding the portico, it will take up the existing landing space using all original materials. As I discussed with Adam, I'm contemplating for the portico to put either a metal roof or just keep the roof consistent with the existing home, which is asphalt. The siding on the garage, going back to the garage, the siding on the garage will be cedar wood as the existing home. The windows will be wood windows, either Pella or Clearview. I'm not quite sure where we're getting the windows from at this juncture.
Excuse me, Beverly. Can you present your drawings, or would you like me to?
Yes, I will. I appreciate that. I apologize.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't have to. You're going to present the. Okay. Okay. Awesome.
There you go.
All righty.
Continue.
Okay. I think I was at the garage. The materials on the garage will be the same as the existing home in terms of cedar siding, the windows, the roof. If you have any questions that I'm not answering or didn't present to you, please feel free to do so. I think everything is pretty self-explanatory. So if you have any other questions, let me know. I don't want to keep rambling. So.
Okay. Chris, we'll start with you.
Sure. Thank you for your presentation, Beverly. And I just had a couple of quick questions. Have you received zoning approval for this application?
This application is conditionally approved when we removed the last two windows on the dormer of the loft. But I wanted to wait until I have either other suggestions from you guys to make the final drawing. I'm sorry, could you hear me? Could you hear me?
The reason I asked is the plot plan that you've submitted indicates the garage is going to be 5 feet setback.
Hey, Chris?
5 feet.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris. She did receive a zoning compliance stamp on her application.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Okay. I don't see that.
It's not on the PDF. It's on the hard copy.
Oh, all right.
Which I can show you.
Okay. So it's beyond the setback, but we'll just assume that that's okay with the zoning department. Then you had indicated you weren't really sure who you were going to get the windows from, but you had mentioned a company that I'm not sure makes a wood window. So you realize the windows do need to be wood exterior. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes. The only reason I mentioned clear. Sorry. Go on. Proceed.
And the same thing would be, for the garage door and the exterior doors as well. They would need to be all wood. And it doesn't indicate that on the application, so I'm just wanting to state that for the record.
All right. Do you need me to submit a revised application indicating that?
I'll let Adam answer that, but those were my comments, and I don't have anything further. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rosina?
My only question at the moment is for the roof of the portico. You mentioned either metal or asphalt shingles. Is there a decision on which of the two will you be using?
I'm still struggling, but obviously if the commissioners have a preference or a suggestion, I'll be glad, but I was thinking of the bronze. The reason I'm hesitant is because I'm not quite certain if you can see the roof, the portico roofing from the road. So if I'm looking for aesthetics, I'm not sure if I'll be getting that impact in terms of what you see. It's not as if the roof is necessarily slanted. It's attempting to mimic the existing roof of this flat roof home. So I believe either materials are consistent with the historical district, and I think that either material shouldn't be an issue. So unless you have suggestions, I'm fine with that. I'm open, I'm flexible. I just want a portico and I want a garage. So in terms of if you guys say I don't like the style, I don't like the plan, that's fine. I just want these things. Mm-hmm.
And the roof of the garage is asphalt shingles?
I'm sorry, could you repeat
as
that?
Proposed, or the roof of the garage, is that asphalt shingles then?
Yes, it mimics it mimics the home. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Art?
No questions for me, thank you.
Darren?
No questions, Adam. Thank you.
Okay, Jim. Darren?
I just have one quick question. Plan, please, Adam. So it looks like on the site plan that the garage is slightly behind the house, but on the renderings, it looks like it's completely to the side of the house. Could you just clarify that? I'm not really sure that I understand. In the renderings, it looks like it's directly to the side, but in the site plan, it looks like there's some pull behind.
Well, it's not directly behind because I wouldn't be able to I wouldn't be able to drive the car.
Right.
It's partially behind and mostly to the side.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, because the home, I call the home obviously is flat. It has the frontal area is flat, but to the left and right you have what I call the wings. I don't know what it's formally called architecturally, but I call it the wings. And so that portion of the wing is covering. If you see the side where it has the three windows of the home,
right?
It's partially is covering the right portion of the garage.
Okay.
If that makes
it's
sense.
just it's hard to tell in the rendering because it looks like it's directly kind of to the side and there's no covering from the wing at all. That was it. That's my only question.
Well, definitely the windows. The door to the right of the garage is covered by that. But yes, it is primarily to the side because that's how I would be able to get in and out of the home.
Okay.
I'm just following. I'm
right.
following the existing driveway that will just go back.
No problem. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
I think in this case, if we may make some stipulations
Of course.
on this garage and on your portico, like because you're not calling out specific materials. We're going to say that stipulate that the roof materials match the existing house, siding matches the existing house, wood windows, etc. So if you're okay with that.
Yes.
Okay.
I thought I included that. I guess I did not include that in the application because I thought I included the basics in terms of the siding and the roofing and the windows, but I could be wrong.
You said materials, clapboard wood.
The cedar wood, that's what the siding of the home is.
Yeah, to match existing, and wood windows.
And the roofing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I did not receive any letters or emails in favor of this application, and I did not receive any letters or emails against this application. So the hearing is closed. Thank you, Beverly.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have one question. To the side of my screen, I saw it looks like a note. I'm not sure if someone is writing something that I'm supposed to see, but then it was like a flash on my screen. Was that you, Chris? Regarding something about Home Depot.
No, I don't have
Okay.
any access to the screen. No,
Okay,
I didn't write
okay.
anything.
No, it's fine. I mean, I know WebEx you're able to make, because I use that for my work, so I know you're able to make inserts. So it just flashed on my
I
screen.
probably
so I wasn't
could,
sure.
but no, I did not
Okay.
add any notes.
Okay, that's fine. I apologize. Thank you.
That's okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Have a
now
good
we'll
holiday.
go into the, thank you. We'll go to the executive session and consider the applications. So the first application is the Old South Road LLC, 171 Old South Road in Southport, for property located at 171 Old South Road in Southport for A, remove existing garage and pergola, B, new pergola, C, new patio, D, lighting, E, modify previously approved fence, walks and driveway, and F, outdoor shower. Do I have a motion?
This is Art. I'll make a motion to approve A, B, C, D, E, and F as presented.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second it.
Jim, you're not voting on this application.
Okay,
You're only voting on the second application.
thank you.
Darren Raymond Locke, I'll second.
Okay, thank you, Darren. Discussion?
I just, I'm a little bit uncomfortable with how close all of the work that's going on is to the adjacent property line. It does seem like there's more room on the property to not have to shove everything so far to the property line. So I'm feeling it's a little bit, I think it crowds the adjacent property line a little bit too much on two of the axis points.
How does that affect the historical appropriateness? I don't doubt what Chris is saying or dispute it, but how does it affect the appropriateness?
Well, I'm looking at the neighborhood and I'm looking at the adjacent property in the district in the neighborhood, and I'm looking at the approximation of those structures within the district, and it just seems like this is kind of pushing the limit to me a bit on that.
Okay, thanks.
I mean, one could argue that, back in the 18th century or 19th century, that they didn't have zoning regulations or setbacks, and a lot of people built outbuildings right up against the property lines.
You could argue that, except we don't have that situation now. We do have setbacks, and I suspect they're there for a reason.
And they get a variance for it.
Correct.
Okay. Any other concerns or comments?
I think that what they're trying to do to save that tree, which certainly goes to historic setting, is commendable, because people wouldn't go to this to preserve a historic tree.
Yeah, good point. Okay, any other comments or discussion? Okay, let's take a vote. All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes 4-1. Chris Shea is the opposer.
I've been called worse.
I didn't mean to call you an opposer. You were against the application. That's okay. And Chris, this is the application I'm recusing myself.
Sure. So the next application is was presented by Bonnie Page. She's presently at 241 Ruggles Avenue in Newport, and it's for a property located at 72 Rose Hill Road in Southport. And there's only one item. It's item A, change windows and doors to be more appropriate to the historical style of the home. Is there somebody that's going to make a motion? Oh, and Jim, you're voting on this one.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to approve as submitted.
Is there a second?
Yeah, Art.
I'll second. Darren Raymond Locke. Oh, sorry, Art.
No worries.
Art, are you seconding the motion?
Yes, I said I would. Thank you, Chris.
Okay, thank you. Okay, discussion. Any comments or any discussion from any of the commissioners? Okay, hearing none, I will call the question. All those in favor of this application, raise your hands. And that is unanimous. There's no one opposed and there was no abstention. So the motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Okay, next item on the agenda, Chris and Haley Milligan, 75 Old South Road in Southport for property located at 75 Old South Road in Southport for a 30 kilowatt generator moved to front parking court and screened with 6-foot high evergreen hedge, and B, landscape lighting. Have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve item A as presented and deny item B without prejudice.
I'll second.
Seconds?
Rosina.
Rosina seconds. Rosina seconds. Discussion?
Yeah, the reason for my motion and the denial is I think that there might be a little bit too many light fixtures proposed in this application. I count 30 light fixtures, and it seems as though there are a number of, between the 6 uplights for the magnolia trees and the path lights and the 6 well lights, there's 17 path lights. I just think there's a little bit too much going on there in the way of landscape lighting.
I would agree. I mean, there's a lot of uplights in it, and we've turned away other plans that had even fewer uplights in the past. So, any other comments?
No, I agree with that.
All right, let's take a vote. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Not opposed and no abstentions. The next item on the agenda is Cadis Main Trust, 996 Old Post Road in Fairfield for property located at 996 Old Post Road for a new garage to match existing garage demolished by a tree. Can we get a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
And I'll second it.
Okay, Chris makes a motion to approve as presented and Art seconds. Discussion? All right, no discussion. We'll take a vote. Sorry?
Wait.
Okay, motion passes unanimously. None opposed. Last item on the agenda is Beverly Veneer, 126 Old Post Road in Fairfield for property located at 126 Old Post Road in Fairfield for A, a detached garage, and B, portico and existing front landing. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve items A and B as presented with the stipulation we discussed, which was for the materials in the garage to match the siding, the roofing materials, and can't remember what the third one was. Any help?
Yeah, wood windows, I think.
Okay, so to restate it, the stipulation would be with respect to the making sure that there's matching roofing materials, siding, and wood windows.
Have a second? No second?
I'll second for
Somebody-
discussion.
Okay, Rosina seconds. Discussion?
I'm out of my line of expertise here, but I just wanted to ask maybe the architects on the commission what their thoughts are on the style of the portico, and is it appropriate to the house? I noticed there's some dental molding indicated on the drawing, and I'm not really sure if that's appropriate. Along with that crown at the roof and the flat roof. Just again, not my area of expertise, but I question the style of that.
I think the drawings don't do the house justice. You know, it looks a little bit boxier than what is drawn here, I believe. Rosina, what do you think?
I kind of agree. It's a fairly simple house, so I think the portico that's being proposed is fairly simple as well. Most of the things, like the columns, are new, and the moldings are new. But, like, for example, the door and the lights in the window are existing, so it's kind of hard to say much about it. So
Let me share something. The existing house has dentals on it.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe that gives you a little bit more. So I think the drawings are just a little simplistic.
I guess for me, the design style of the garage is what's kind of most discordant. I feel that it isn't in real keeping with the house, and like the garage doors are a bit too modern. There's something that visually is very discordant to me.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to really be to scale too, no.
And it's not directly to the side of the house. There is a bit of overlap there. So
Yeah, it's actually
but-
pretty far back.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the roof line and the doors that are kind of throwing me off, but it just feels very stylistically different than the house. And then there's a bunch of different.
Which is okay.
Yeah, it just I don't.
I mean, one of the things, when they, I think when people, even when they add on to their house in the historic district, one way to look at it is, or one approach is to make it look completely different from the existing house, so that it's set apart as it's not part of the existing structure or property,
Yeah, and I appreciate that. I think kind of part of what's throwing me off is the lack of like actual pictures of the site now. That it's kind of presented in a void. So it's and I'm all for, I understand differentiating styles when there's new construction. It just feels very, very stylistically different, and it feels a little discordant to me. That's all.
Yep. All right. Any other comments? All right, let's take a vote. All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes 4-1. And no abstentions. All right, so that concludes that part of the meeting. We'll move on to, just the last time when we approved minutes, we approved the right minutes for the wrong date, though. Because the meeting was moved to the 14th, I believe. But at any rate, we're going to go back and approve notes from, or minutes from the October 14th, 22nd, and 22nd meeting, and then the last meeting on the 12th of November. So can we start? I don't know, has everyone had a chance to look at them? I'll take that as a yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's need to have a motion to approve the minutes from 10/14/20.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the 10/14 meeting as presented.
Second that.
Okay, a second. Art seconds, all in favor?
Yes.
Chris? Art, I don't think you were at that meeting.
Yeah, Art, you weren't at that meeting.
I wasn't at
The motion passed.
the November 11th, the November 12th meeting.
You weren't at that, but the 14th was a special meeting.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It was the presentation on the solar panels, which I think you
Oh,
missed.
that's right, okay. Yeah, all right, I'll withdraw my vote.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, wait, I'm sorry, what happened? Did Art second?
So Rosina seconded my motion to approve the minutes for 10/14.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
That motion passes unanimously. And motion to approve the minutes from the 10/22/20 meeting. And it's, Art, you were there. Everyone votes on this one.
Yeah,
I'll make the motion for that one
I'll
to
second.
approve as presented.
Okay, you guys are talking over each other. Whose motions?
I'll
Are we
make the
talking about
motion to
the
approve as
November
presented.
12th meeting now?
No, the October 22nd.
Okay.
Okay, so Rosina makes
Again,
the
I'll
motion.
make the motion to approve as presented.
Okay, do we have a second? Chris
second.
Shea
Yes.
seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the minutes pass. Motion passes. And then for the 11/12/20 meeting, it's Claver, Bohan, Raymond, Locke, Negron, Shea, and Clark. Clark's not here. Do we have a motion to approve those minutes? I believe we had some corrections to it.
I had one, Adam, that I emailed to the secretary and yourself.
Okay. And this is the correction for, I guess I have to share my screen.
Page 2 of 5, line 3 of text.
Yeah, so this is what was corrected.
Okay,
Thank you. I didn't see anything else. So, do we have a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Jim makes a motion to approve in a second.
I'll second.
Darren seconds. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Okay. Repairs, 428 Peacock Avenue, repair or replace picket fence in kind. 406 Old Post Road, repairs related to Tropical Storm Isaiah. Roof shingles in kind, replace, repairs, fence repairs, rear deck repairs. 303 Beach Road, remove and replace garage roof in kind, repoint chimney. 163 Harbor Road, replace mailbox. No violations, the moment that I'm aware of. Should discuss the handbook. I've talked to Darren a little bit about this through email about not pursuing the grant and just doing it in-house. Considering that the book is not in terrible shape, but if you want to do it in-house, somebody's got to take it on. That's the only thing. So, what do you guys think?
I'm happy to take it on if other people want to jump in to help, but I can take it on. That's fine.
That'd be great. And if you want to just take on small sections, and when you have the time, it's be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, I would love to hear. Some of you guys are longer commissioners than I am. I would love to hear some of your comments as well on things that you think need to be addressed, just so I make sure I cover everything.
Yeah,
I know
I'll help you on that.
Awesome, thank you.
Right.
As will I.
I know we had. Right.
Darren. Yeah.
I know we just had. I know some of the outstanding issues are like, solar panels is one that's unclear. I think painting of brick is one of the other issues. And what was the other one that we were talking about? That was Chris and Rosina. What was it? I mean, Chris and Rosina, I think, have been doing some work on it, haven't you? Or I'd consider doing work on it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Rosina's done some work, and she and I have both gone back and forth with some verbiage on one of the topics. I'm just curious though. I don't really know. I mean, if we were to get a grant from the state trust for historic preservation, the SHPO office, wouldn't they? Don't they have folks that write historic district handbooks? Wouldn't it be great to get that help from folks that really kind of do this professionally, and then maybe we could have a work session and have that grant writer maybe do a Zoom call or something and get their input. Not the grant writer, the guidebook, the handbook writer. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's a big job for someone to volunteer to do. it's a big handbook, and I don't know what I don't know. So I haven't looked at any other historic district handbooks in the state, but I know there are lots of them, and I would think it'd be good to get input from somebody who is familiar with other districts and their handbooks.
Well, Chris, we actually have a professional person on our commission who does that. Darren is, this is what she does.
This is what I did it at Westport. I've reviewed probably about 10 different HTC handbooks in overhauling that. I was the historic preservation specialist for the town of Westport. I do a lot of historic preservation in Norwalk, so I'm familiar with, their proceedings as well. So, I mean, it's totally up to you. If you guys want to pursue an HPEG and go through the consultant path, I'm happy with that. I'm also happy to take it on if you'd rather do it in-house. I'm happy to defer to majority.
Okay. Well, I wasn't familiar with your experience, so that's really good information, Darren, and I really appreciate your willingness to take this on. I mean, I don't know how you'd feel about maybe chairing up a subcommittee to be in charge of updating the handbook and maybe asking for consultation from someone that either from the state historic preservation office or just to maybe get some input from them. But again, that's I'm just talking, thinking out loud.
Sorry, I got disconnected. I missed half that.
Athena, do you have any thoughts on any of this that you want to share?
Not really at the moment. So.
Okay.
I had one thought. Once we're happy with it, what's the approval set of wickets?
But then
Like, does it have to go to RTM or?
No, it just gets noticed in the it's just like getting anything approved. Like, so we noticed it in the paper, and it's put on the agenda, and it gets approved that way, and so the public has a chance to respond and comment or whatever. And then once it's approved, it has to go to the
RTM too.
So approval of the handbook revision
we did this.
would be much like approval of the certificate of appropriateness. The same steps.
Yeah. I mean, we've done this.
Okay.
I was part of the original handbook. That this handbook
Right.
that we have now. We
Right.
actually, it didn't exist when I joined the commission, and we put this together, and we didn't go to the RTM. As far as I remember, we had work sessions, and then we went to the process of. Darren, I mean, you might know from experience. Do you think it needs RTM approval?
No.
No, I don't.
Okay, thank you.
So what did we decide is Chris, Rosina, and Darren maybe going to talk
I
about
think
what-
Art said he was happy to jump in and help as well.
Yeah, I'll help do the writing and that sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think the book's in pretty good shape. It just needs a little massaging, and maybe, fill in the holes that we have. And I think there aren't too many, but there are some for sure. I think maybe you'll find more holes when you look at it, but or that is all right.
Basketball.
Let's go on to new business. Darren actually is requesting that her house be considered for historic property designation. She's at 515 Stilson Road, and that she's in the process of writing her report, similar to what Rosina did for the church on Tunsis Road, where it was. So she's spearheading it. She's doing it on her own. And I guess she will present to us at some point, her report, and then as a commission, we'll decide whether it's worth. I'm sure it will be, but whose phone is it? Oh, okay.
Looks like
So I don't know, Darren, if do you want to say anything about it now?
Sure, I can talk about it. We're in the process of going through the state register nomination. It's almost done. It'll be submitted to SHPO before Christmas. So that's really exciting. We just moved here a little less than a year ago. We're coming up on a year on the 20th of this month. If it's all right for me to share my screen.
Sure.
I can context. So the house was built in 1820, at least the oldest part of it that I can date was 1820. I have a feeling that the kitchen was older, but previous owners have ripped out any architectural remnants that would help me date that part. It's kind of the oldest vernacular farmhouse in this part of the street. There's one kind of around the corner on Pansy Road that still functions as a farm. But this plot was 38 acres up until 1955. And the people that owned it at that point subdivided the property to make Stilson Place and Melody Lane all the way up to Judd Street. And they had 5 children, all of whom had plots that they owned and built houses around this property. It has a lot of community investment. Certainly people notice the house. If we're outside, they stop and talk to us about it. They're very interested in the history, or they like to tell us they've been in the home and they knew the previous owners or the owners from 1927 to 1955, the Zadrovitz family. The grandson has been in touch with me. We've talked to him about the home and his memories of it. He grew up in the house behind us. So it's been an interesting process. One of the things that I think my husband and I feel very strongly about is that the house was foreclosed on in the 1990s. And whoever bought it subsequently did some upgrades that were somewhat unfortunate, if I'm being nice. And we're very anxious to get the house back to its former glory and kind of restore it to what it should be and what it was. And as part of that, we're pursuing the state register nomination. We will put it to make sure that it doesn't fall into disrepair again, to help really preserve this piece of the community in this area. As I said, it's got a lot of community investment. We feel very strongly about it. It's our family home and will be until my husband and I are no longer here. I'm not really sure what else I can say about it.
Okay, can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
I think I'm having internet problems. I may lose you if I do. I'll bear with me because I lost all your screens.
There's another view of the home if you just want to see it from the other angle so you can get an idea. So this part was 1820s. It was a federal vernacular style. And then in about 1860s, 1870s, this part was added on.
Are you sharing the screen or?
Oh, the screen, did it stop?
No.
Let me sorry, are you seeing it now?
It looks like it's coming, yeah. Thank you.
Sure.
Perfect.
Rosina, can you see it now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is the 1820s original house, and this was added on, this wing here was added on around 1860, 1870. And then there's been a few changes to the porch, but all within the period of significance for the state register. And since my husband and I took over the house, removed lead paint from the exterior, we repainted it. We're going to go through a window restoration process because most of the windows have all their original hand blown glass panes. Not sure. There's a lot of integrity on the inside of the house. I can show you some pictures if you'd like to see it, although that's outside purview. We would like to take the storm windows off. There's a lot here that we want to preserve and really kind of return to its original glory.
I'm sorry, where is the house down?
Stilson Road, 515 Stilson Road. It's just down the street from Little Pub.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I've lost internet access, so. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Guess I'm gonna have to do this without internet. Alternate commissioner update. We have, but thanks for that update, Darren.
Sure.
We'll look forward to your report. We do have a alternate commissioner who's her name is Alyssa Stack, and she is going in front of the RTM, I think, at the next meeting, which is I think it's after this meeting, so that's why she's not here. So assuming she gets approved, we'll have another alternate commissioner, which would be good. And the next line on the agenda is election of officers. So can we get a motion for the clerk? Do we have any? Oops, let me go back. I can see you all. So, Roseanne, you still want to be a clerk? It's been a tough job recently.
I'm okay with it.
Okay. I'll nominate Rosina as a clerk. Anyone else second that?
I'll second it.
Or seconds Rosina as clerk? All in favor? Chris, are you voting for Rosina as clerk? That's how we do it, right? And for vice chair, we have a motion for vice chair.
If Chris is still interested in continuing, I can make the motion for that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Chris,
I was going to do the same thing. If Chris is up for it, I would certainly nominate him as vice chair.
I would be willing to serve in that capacity. I was actually thinking that Rosina might be interested in that job, but if she's not, I will be happy to continue.
Rosina?
I'm okay with you continuing. I think you have one more year on your term, so that would be fine.
Okay.
So I can fade away after that.
In your existing role. All right, all in favor? Okay, Chris Shea is our vice chair. And then we have a nomination for chair.
Yeah, I'll nominate Adam for chair if he's willing to continue.
Yep, I'm willing.
I'll be happy to second that.
Thank you. All in favor? for myself. All in favor. All right, motion passed unanimously. So I have on here setting the meeting dates for next year, and we can actually wait to approve them to next month if you want. But I thought I'd put them out there so that they can be reviewed. Did you all get those?
Yeah.
And so last year I made a mistake in one of the days, so I'd rather make sure we have enough time to go through it. So if you could all go through it, and we'll vote on it at the next meeting and put them in there.
Okay.
That'd be great. Okay. Any other new business to discuss?
I have a question, Adam. I see the Peacock Library is getting a new roof.
Yeah, they've got a repair order for that.
Has that been approved?
Yeah, through a repair order.
Okay.
Being replaced in kind. Yeah.
Okay.
They do have. They came across. Pretty sure it came up in a meeting. It should have. They did come across these metal grates in front of the stained glass windows that are deteriorating, and they were considering removing them. But they're there for a reason. I don't know. It's really strange if you. I wish I could pull it up, but if you get a chance to go by and check them out, they look. It's so you can't see the stained glass windows from the exterior at all, but somehow they let light in. They're really sort of a dense metal covering. I think I talked the lady there. I forget her name. And you're just replacing them in kind, and I think she was, inclined to do that. So.
Okay, thanks.
See where that goes. But it looks good, though,
I remember the hearing on modifications to the library, but I don't remember the roof. But that's fine.
Well, the roof would have been a repair order, and it wouldn't have come in front of the commission as a public hearing.
Okay.
I mean, it's being replaced in kind.
That makes sense then.
So, yep. All right. Anything else?
Any idea, Adam, if there's a plan to get the meetings back to in person yet?
No. And I would imagine with the COVID outbreak, only getting worse, that we're going to be doing this for a while. Which is, I mean, I think there's some benefits that have come out from this sort of, type of meeting. Getting all the materials online, I think, is a good thing. The application materials.
Yes. Yep.
I can't put applications at the library and at the building department and have people going down there and looking at them there. It just doesn't make sense.
Right.
And so maybe at the end, it creates an environment where we don't waste all that paper. I mean, we used to take in 4 applications, hard copies, and now I only take 2. And that's the other thing I think needs discussion is do we revise the application? I think it should be revised to some extent, maybe to put in there, number one, to include a PDF regardless, even if we go back to meetings in person, that we include an online application just so it's easier for everyone to.
Yep.
And there's a record. I mean, having it online, just think about all the applications are on the website now. Unless somebody removes them, they'll always be there.
Yeah,
so it's sort of a good archival sort of, aspect to that as well. It is difficult doing the meetings online. I think we missed some things by not looking at the drawings in person and interacting with people. So I feel like maybe a few applications have gone through that probably shouldn't have. Maybe we should have come back for a couple of rounds or whatever, but because of the situation, they've gotten through. But, we'll do the best we can, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, if there's nothing else, can we get a motion to adjourn?
Put the motion.
Second.
Motion to adjourn. Hart seconds, all in favor? All right, motion passed unanimously. Thanks everyone for
Good job, guys. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you. Good meeting. Thanks
Thank
again.
you, Adam. Good job. Thanks, Sheila.
Well,
If